Hey, good morning, everybody. Tuesday, February the 7th. We're one full week into February, and I hope you're having a good month so far. Now, yesterday, I asked you to all comment in the comment section. See if we could hit 100 comments. Just kind of sharing what was the best thing that happened to your weekend and what did you get out of church on Sunday. And I'm happy to say we had more comments than I think ever before. We didn't quite reach 100, though, but we had many, many comments. It was fun to read them. A lot of you spent a lot of great family time over the weekend, and that's really, really special. So thank you for taking time to comment in the comment section. Again, we don't reply to those, but we do read them. Okay, we want you to know that. Thank you also for sharing these little 4-minute morning check-ins on your Facebook page. Now, we're going through the book of James, 4 minutes a morning, so it's going to take us quite a while. We're in chapter 2, and we've reached a part of the teaching in James chapter 2, verse 20, that some can really get messed up with. There are some who read this and conclude salvation is by faith plus works. And that is not what the Bible teaches. The Bible teaches clearly salvation is by faith alone. So what is this saying? Now let me read the passage again that we're kind of in, James 2. In verse 20 it says, "Are you willing to recognize, you foolish fellow, that faith without works is useless?" Now again, that's talking about just an intellectual faith, not a genuine faith. You see, there's two types of faith. There's a false faith that's just, it's thoughts up here, it's intellectual, it's just words, and there's a genuine faith that includes true belief. This is speaking of that fake faith, that false faith. Can that faith without works save anybody? No, because true faith always produces what? Works. How do I know if my faith was genuine? Because it changes my life. So it says, as an example, was not Abraham our father justified by works when he offered up Isaac his son on the altar? You see that faith was working with his works, and as a result of the works, faith was perfected, and Scripture was fulfilled, saying Abraham believed God, it was reckoned to him as righteousness, and he was called the friend of God. You see, a man is justified by works, not by faith alone. So when you read that, it almost appears to contradict the rest of Scripture that says salvation is by faith alone. Now here's what you have to understand. When James gives this example, and we ended yesterday with this, was he talking about the moment of Abraham's salvation? Because if he was, then it contradicts Scripture. But the answer is no. He wasn't talking about the moment Abraham received Christ. The moment when Abraham believed God and it was accounted to him for righteousness occurred 30 years before what James is referring to here. The Bible's very clear all through the New Testament. Abraham was saved by faith. Let me read some verses. Genesis 15:6, he believed the Lord, and the Lord reckoned it as righteousness. Because he what? Believed. Romans 4, what then shall we say? That Abraham our forefather according to the flesh is found. For if Abraham was justified by works, he has something to boast about, but not before God. For what does Scripture say? Abraham believed God, and it was credited to him as righteousness. The same thing can be found in Galatians chapter 3. Even so Abraham believed God, and it was reckoned to him as righteousness. Therefore be sure that it's those who are of faith who are the sons of Abraham. It is clear Abraham was saved by faith. Then what is James talking about? James is speaking of that event 30 years after Abraham's conversion, when God told Abraham to offer his son Isaac as a sacrifice. And what did that do? It proved that Abraham's faith was more than just intellectual assent. It proved that his faith was real. You're saved by faith. That's the root. But true faith always produces works. That's the fruit. I'm way over today. We'll stop right there, pick it up tomorrow. Hope you have a great day. See you tomorrow morning.